Hi, guys, and welcome to the Gin and Tonic Show. I'm your host, Moose, and this is my producer, Nick. Our main discussion is about Islam in the 21st century. However, we will critique other religions and ideologies. We condemn any form of discrimination, violence, misogyny, slavery. We do, however, embrace many perspectives and free speech if it is factual and correct, and not based on any hate. Throughout the show, we will be exploring different religious beliefs, practices, and their impact on society, ranging from politics, interpersonal relationships, and mental health of believers and non-believers. We hope to create an open dialogue for those who feel they're not heard, especially those who have doubts and have left their belief systems. If you are interested in exploring the complex topic of religion and wish to be part of an honest and open dialogue, this is the show for you. We also welcome feedback and discussion from our audience and listeners. The Gin and Tonic Show is a free speech platform where you can express your ideas without any fear of violence and repercussions or any consequences. Please do join our discussion in the live chat as well as the comments. Thank you for stopping by and enjoy the Gin and Tonic Show.
Good evening and welcome to the Gin and Tonic Show. I'm your host. Hello, I'm joined by a very well-mannered, very well-cultured. He will come into your nightmares and declare that history, humanity, and society is very, very complex.
Genie. Yes, I'm that genie.
He's that kind of Ginny. By the way, Ginny, we are in a predicament. Nick has been kidnapped. He's still saying hello as though everything is normal. But he has been
to answer that $1 million question.
Quiet, Nick. I have kidnapped you.
Moose cannot pay that money because he's too broke. He's too broke to use my free equipment I gave him.
Oh man. All right. Yeah, he blew the handle. It's Ginny. I apologize. I kidnapped him. But yeah, so that's why. Hello, red heart face. Yeah, just red heart shape. But yes, how are we doing today, Culture Ginny? I know you're cringing right
now. Well, you dragged me kind of here, but the reason as for why I am here and Nick is not is that Nick is going to be away from
the Gin and
Tonic show for
a while,
a couple of months.
Yeah, so this is going to be the last show that Nick is going to be in. Of course, he's in my residence, so he shares the same screen as myself. So yeah, I mean, you could log into your phone though. Yeah. You might as well do that now.
Shall we go into the living room and log into the?
Yeah. Definitely, you can do that. So that way, there's no confusion. But yes, this is Nick's last show. Because due to some circumstances, because of the show, we would have to take a step back for him, for his safety, his his sanity, as well as it's also mainly safety, pretty much. So yeah, most of the shows from here on. I will be running them either a Saturday or a Sunday. However, Ginny may or may not be here. But I will try to put out as much content as possible.
And I will try to be here as a replacement for Nick, kind of.
Yeah.
Or rather, I will be here as usual because I'm already kind of the unofficial third.
Yes. Well, you're in the thumbnail.
Memory.
So many of the thumbnails where I'm beheading Nick, and then you're the other warrior throwing the spear at me. I don't know where.
Because I'm kind of like the unofficial Iblis advocate of this show.
Yeah, I'm like either the Theseus or the Hercules, Enix the Minotaur of the show, and you are the Iblis devil's advocate, or like King Eurystheus, depending on the lore, that is, or the god Zeus, depending. So so definitely this is going to be the format. We might have Drastic Measures join us from time to time as well. And I do apologize in advance. Oh geez, we have Nick join us here as Yasser Qadi.
Pastor Yadi.
Pastor Yadi.
There was holes in your narrative, brother.
Okay, please tell me where the holes are so I can find them and fill them up.
There's one right under your nose. There's one on your bottom.
Oh, come on now. Boy, reveal yourself. Reveal your true self. I know you're not Yasser Qadi or Qasr Yadi as you claim yourself to be.
You are right. It is me. You have found holes in my narrative.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Jen Wallace. Hi, Dude Abides. Yeah. So he's so just to explain again, this is Nick's last show. So now he's gonna be a complete what do you call it? Not a break, but it's sort of like it's gonna be it's a break of sorts, like a longer break. He can come back. He's welcome to come back. That is. And again, it's just for his safety, for his, there's some things that happen, his association with the show. I don't want him to be in danger. And it's also best for, we call it, for the time being, that is, for the time being. Again, this is not permanent. Nothing's permanent. So.
I'll come back. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, well, not for last show for only Nick, not Gin and Tonic. Gin and Tonic will keep going. Myself and
we will continue.
Will be still putting content out. I apologize, Ginny. Like Ginny also has his own channel, by the way. So he's also putting on there too. It's definitely like I will try to do shows on Saturday or Sunday, whichever. I know Ginny won't be able to make it if it's a Sunday, but I will if we're doing Saturday. Ginny and I will be here. So just for future reference, and if not, I'll announce it in the community. That is, I may not be as often. I might try to post 10-minute video, 5-minute videos as well too as content, but I'm also still brainstorming the ideas for the time being because of.
I like how we're talking like we're like miles away.
I know you're in literally in the next room.
Hey, I am on the other side of the earth, pretty much.
Yeah, sorry, Dude Abides. Yeah, so I will be Dude Abides if you didn't understand. So we'll still be doing Gin and Tonic, but just like slightly different. It won't be a fixed time show necessarily because of the fact that we are I'm losing my partner here. So it's just going to be either Saturday or Sunday, generally speaking.
Yeah. Unlike me, Moose actually has a life. So.
No, well, Nick, you covered for me, I covered for you. It was kind of like that deal, right? Like it was, or Ginny covered for us because, again, I was in a Muslim country at that time too. So, we have to safety is priority. We'll still do live shows, but there might be sometimes I'm also still brainstorming if I might do like a middle recorded 5-minute thing on any particular topic. But I will, but that will be more middle of the week. But I'm still doing the live shows for sure. We'll still do the live shows on either a Saturday, Sunday, one of these 2 days. So it's gonna be definitely every weekend for sure. Same time every weekend. Just that I will announce it in advance. It's going to be 9 p.m. UK time or 4 p.m. Eastern time or Canadian time. And of course, if you want to go to Swedish time is what? 10 p.m. I'm guessing, Ginny?
Currently, it is 22:30.
22:30. Okay, so yeah, so I think Sweden is an hour ahead of the UK. I'm guessing, time zone wise.
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so this is why this episode we're just kind of discussing like okay, what are we gonna do for the future? That is. Also, like, yeah, I think Nick wanted me to review some stuff. But yeah, Nick, do you have anything else that I did not cover, or did you want to cover something?
There's quite a lot of holes in your narrative, so let me fix them for you.
Damn it, Nick.
All right, yeah. First of all, I need the audience's opinion on my last thumbnail that I'm going to be making for a while. Jen, especially you. I'll still be active in the WhatsApp group, but none of those pictures I'll put on there will actually turn into thumbnails for a while. But I think we also have a lot of these shorts and videos that I've been sending you that were all really interesting, and especially about National Islam.
Yeah,
How they're essentially like a hate cult, and the SPLC actually counts them
yeah,
as a racist hate group.
yeah. And I think I wanted to do that for next week. That is,
Yeah.
the nation.
Yeah, you have all the research for that, anyways, right? So I
Yeah,
sent Ginny it too.
and I also want to give Ginny a proper heads up. That is, that way we can, what do you call it? Yeah, so that way we were able to communicate. And by the way, Ginny, I have you on Discord as well. Like, I'll send you everything. My apologies if I'm not as active because we're in different time zones too, all of us. So
Yeah.
we're gonna have to.
As issues, I have to second that blood pressure issues and cholesterol issues one of these. So he's going to be a bit less active than usual.
Yeah, I will also try to get other ex-Muslims, theists, non-theists to interview as well on the channel, like I did with Tariq Al-Had. Last channel was a good show, and Tariq is very interested in joining us for a future show as well. Yeah, so Tariq is very interested. I'm gonna try to get someone like some new ex-Muslims who would wish to like tell their story. If again, their privacy will be respected. If you know anybody who's an ex-theist, ex-Muslim, or even a Muslim, that is, who's just not Orthodox or not in the streamline, could be an Ahmadi Muslim, Shia Muslim, etc. We are more than happy.
Well, I got a good recommendation for you.
Yes.
There's this guy named Moose on the Gin and Tonic show. You might want to get him.
That's me. That's me, boy. That's me. So I am the Gin and Tonic show. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, you're the Gin and Tonic show.
Yeah, I'm the show.
Kind of sound like James Corden.
And I'm literally right next to a Ginny as well too. So it's like
Yes.
So it's a very gin oriented show. By the way, Ginny has told me.
So you do sometimes bring forth the holy Zemzem water.
Yes, I have to bring out the holy Zemzem water, especially when you're playing too much. Anybody's playing too much devil's advocate. And by the way, Ginny has told me Qasr Yadi, it means forced to.
Qasir Yadi.
Qasir Yadi.
Yes, of course, it's with a scene, not sawed as Qasr. Yeah,
Scene, yes.
Yadi, yes, scene. So it means pretty much forced with regards to the hand to something.
Yeah,
forced to act.
So in what Nick's title literally means, I apologize, Kustox, we're almost a borderline comedy channel. Qasr Yadi would be like, forced by hand, the finder of holes. Is your name right now, Nick? If we're translating transliteration.
That's actually the reason why I put the name as
Boy, you need to be less dirty and more intellectual.
Hey, the Holy Book, 434. It allows what my name.
But yes, what do you call it? We have, I think, Minik, you wanted me to react to something by Sheikh Asim Al Hakim.
Oh yeah, that genius solved the inheritance problem.
But before I do that, I did want to cover the news story that is. I know we're a bit late, but I wanted to talk about this news story for sure. I know we're going to go to the serious route as well. And this was happened in August 16, 2023. I know it's been 2 weeks, but this is still very important to cover. And this is the mobs burn Christian churches, homes in after blasphemy allegations. So hundreds of people armed with batons and sticks, they attacked churches after, again, this was allegedly the Holy Quran was desecrated. Again, allegedly, because people in this province, Punjab province, this town of Jaranwala, accused 2 Christian residents of blasphemy. I don't know what the blasphemy was. I haven't heard much after the story.
I think this is a call to Islam to come, because Pakistan says Islam is good, but they make names like that.
Islamabad?
Islam is bad.
Oh, that boy!
So aren't they blaspheming by doing that?
No. In Urdu language, it means Islamabad means you're spreading Islam, like abad. Abad is the term. You're abading, but you
like
can if you're saying it.
Seed, like
Yes. So, but you can, if you read it in English, then it doesn't make any sense. Who may MSM? Like, wait, who's MSM again? Oh, mainstream media. Okay, yeah, mainstream media did not cover this at all. Like, it was, I would say, mostly the foreign media, or like the foreign mainstream media in Pakistan specifically did not cover this, or tried not to cover this. Because a lot of
it makes Islam look like the bad guys. So that's
and because it's like the large mob, they attacked not even just 2 churches. It's reported to have like been multiple churches. So even this is kind of like underreported too.
Yeah.
Lots of property was destroyed.
It's a question that I have. Jaranwala, isn't that the same place that General Dyer did his thing?
Who?
The Jaranwala Bagh Sikh. The
massacre, right?
Massacre,
yeah, that's the same place.
Yeah, so considering their history,
this is the Jaranwala Bagh.
Considering that place's history, why would they not? Why would they still do this to persecute minorities?
Yeah,
and they know how bad that can be.
Yeah, it's Jaranwala. I remember this is pre-partition, right? Pre-partition.
General Dyer, he basically shot everyone inside that Sikh temple.
Yes. There was a Sikh protest back in 1946 or 45 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was
the English general basically wanted to teach the
perfect. You guys covered it on Atheist Republic News. Perfect. Yeah. So
I saw it on there.
No. And D, you're more than welcome to join us, or anybody from Atheist Republic would be welcome to join us. But yeah, Bishop Azad Marshall also, like, he tweeted this. Bibles were desecrated. And this was Faisalabad is a big city too. So it's not like, it's some rural area. Faisalabad is one of the major cities. Pakistan too, and this area was full of Christians. That is, paramilitary rangers were deployed, and again, we don't know who's been arrested, what has been happened.
Arrested? These guys are given trophies.
Boy, quiet! You quiet. Stop. So pages were taken to a local religious leader. So pages of a Quran were taken to a local who reportedly urged Muslims to protest and demand the culprits be arrested. So this is what happened. Shahid Mahmood, a resident at Jaranwala who owns a mobile shop about 50 meters from the Salvation Army Church, told Al Jazeera, "I reached my shop around 10 a.m. and there were already hundreds of people gathered outside the church. Given the situation, I decided to close 10 minutes after opening." Like, he couldn't even run his shop. He's like, no, screw this.
So this screws up my plan as well, right? Because if it is really torn pages of the Quran, what I was thinking of doing for Gin and Tonic was actually making burqa out of the pages of the Quran.
No.
Women in Afghanistan can walk around. So ISIS can't, whenever they want to shoot the woman, they're going to have to shoot the Quran. So it's going to get punished for doing so.
As evil as that plan is, it might work. Also, what do you call it?
Ginny, yeah, the Saddam Hussein,
yes,
story.
this is the story we're
Vicky
referring
Kaushal
to.
made the movie, so Katrina Kaif's husband.
Yeah,
he made a movie about it, which I think is really good.
Yeah, but yeah, this was about the Jallianwala incident, right?
Yeah.
And this was in the Pakistani side of the border that happened pre-partition. As the Bhatia lawyer said, more than 150 families resided in the Christian colony near the Salvation Army Church, and as the situation worsened, women and children evacuated.
Now, you said Al Jazeera before, right? I have to applaud them for not making this like pro-Islamic kind of
thing, right? I'm actually
funded by the
Qatari government. Yeah, it's weird that I was like, oh wow, Al Jazeera covered this. I was very surprised. So, and of course, what do you call it? Al Jazeera, sure, they have been they're progressive in some ways, but they're regressive in others, or just completely ignore the problem altogether. But I'll still give him that. They covered this story at least, as the story is out.
Yeah, because isn't Mehdi Hassan a journalist now?
I think so. Mehdi Hassan, right?
Yeah.
He's in the team, yeah. But yeah, earlier this month, a teacher was killed in Turbat in the southern province of Balochistan after being accused of blasphemy during a lecture. So this was earlier in the month too. In February this year, an angry mob snatched the suspect from his prison cell in the rural district of Nankana and lynched him for allegedly desecrating pages of the Quran. Again, allegedly. All this, there's no evidence required. People can take action whenever, it's alleged. And
Allah can't protect the Quran himself. He needs people.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, you're so like lacking in faith that you have to do this for yourself. The human rights groups say that blasphemy laws have been used for personal reasons. They've also been used to silence minorities. It's this one big.
But yeah, one thing I have to say is I like how the rights groups say that it's not like it's true statement, because how many honor killings and such happen because blasphemy laws are taken into neutral hands.
Yeah,
it's a known fact, right?
Mm-hmm. And there's a Center for Social Justice, an independent group advocating for the rights matter, has compiled data on blasphemy cases in Pakistan, which shows that more than 2,000 people have been accused of blasphemy since 1987. And at least 88 people have been killed on these allegations. So, this was the response. Remember, these are the protests over Quran burning in Sweden. But this is what they do when a minority allegedly does something like this. So it's like, I've seen a lot of people in the public, kind of also, ignore the problem too. That too, Al Jazeera, yeah, Culture Ginny, you are kind of right. I know I saw your private chat. Yeah, Al Jazeera does like to portray South Asians as more or less barbarians too. So it's
I didn't want to say it out loud, but I have seen certain tendencies in certain reporters from Al Jazeera that do have a tendency to portray.
Especially because they're Qatari and the xenophobia they see against the laborers that they bring
yes.
as well, right? Region.
Though there are also, I mean, Al Jazeera isn't also just one thing. Sure, they never criticize Qatar, but they also have some more progressive voices there too. So it could also be that. I wouldn't say exactly, but I wouldn't say that there does exist other things as well here that are less progressive.
Because Al Jazeera,
it depends.
Because I think what the point is that Al Jazeera is prone to bias, for sure. Prone to bias, yes.
Yes, they are.
Right.
But I wrote it in private because I didn't want to spell it out. But now that you said it, you know.
Yeah. The terminology is prone to bias. But keep in mind, Ginny, at least this story happened. The story happened. They reported it.
Yes.
So, which is what I'm happy with. It could be a progressive voice too. There could be progressive voices within the organization. So, I am at least happy that this story was reported. So I want to see if there's any update
I like how your first church is the church's chicken.
Quiet boy. Avoid in Faisalabad story. I want to see if there's any. Okay, so now
Who is
CNN.
this Faisal and why is he bad?
Boy. Okay, so there's still multiple churches. I'm seeing like Times of India, CNN reported this. 8 churches were set ablaze. So apparently, according to CNN, 8 churches were set ablaze. Let me just see. I'm just going to share my screen with you guys because, again, transparency of what I'm doing. Okay, so 8 churches set ablaze. But I wanted to see if there's any like update on that. Okay, let's see what August 23rd. Christianity Today reported this. Okay, Quran. Okay, after 26 churches were burned. Yeah, this was the actual report. 26 churches. Pakistan Christians brace for more blasphemy accusation. Quran desecration in Sweden and TLP politics blamed for mob violence that displaced dozens of Christian. And it's sad. A lot of Christian families have been displaced as a result of this. Sister Mumtaz's church was full on a Monday. Her congregation gathered August 14 to celebrate Pakistan's 76th Independence Day by singing national songs and praying for the prosperity of the Muslim majority nation.
That sounds quite pagan, doesn't it?
It's Christians praying for Pakistan's, prosperity in a church.
Well, that's like a chicken praying for the butcher to prosper.
Damn it, Nick! Quiet, boy.
It's the truth. Don't silence the truth. Don't be a Pakistan messer.
That's true, boy. That's true. But yeah, it had been a trying summer with the Pakistani churches like hers condemning the recent Quran. And yet 2 days later, she was startled to see an angry mob advancing towards her church, wielding sticks, hammers, and iron rods.
That sounds like they're all communists. No.
Yeah, a chilling roar echoed through the streets of Chuk 120 of Jaranwala, a remote town of Faisalabad in South Asia's 3rd largest city. While most of the men had already gone to their work on that hot, humid Wednesday, Mumtaz, along with other Christian men, women, and children, fled to nearby sugarcane fields. Gasping for breath, we ran about a mile in the field, staying there until 2 in the morning without food, shelter, or water. Whenever the mob's voices grew close, mothers stuffed cloth into their baby's mouth and muffled their cries, fearing the attackers would discover and harm us. Christians in Pakistan comprise less than 2% of the population, or about 3 million people who have lived long under the shadow of fear. Across the country, most of them lived in sheer poverty, consigned to menial roles such as sanitation, agriculture, labor, and other low-wage jobs. This is true. Majority of the Christians living in Pakistan are usually assigned to this job, and they're not wealthy Christians at all. Like a majority of them are from the lower rung of society. And I feel bad saying this, but they're the least paid labor over there. Pakistani Christians are often faced with derogatory reminders, accusations that their faith is misguided, their Bible is tainted and obsolete, and Jesus is merely a prophet.
Made a comment as well.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about Mufti Hanif Qureshi getting booked for blasphemy? He's the one who put Fatma on Salman Taseer. Interesting. We can actually see that story in a bit too. Because here they mentioned the Salman Taseer's assassination here too. Because Christians are mostly located in the Punjab province, and the past few years, the hardline Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, the TLP, has emerged as one of the main political parties in the aftermath of Asia Bibi's blasphemy acquittal and execution of...
same rung as Asia Bibi that beautified fast.
Yeah, so Mumtaz Qadri was the killer who assassinated Salman Taseer, the governor of Punjab, who had supported her. So the governor of Punjab was saying, we need to protect her. She is an innocent woman. And also the fact that Salman Taseer said we need to amend these laws. We need to make improvements because there's a huge flaw with this law. And he was killed for this. So this was like, I would argue like this was one of the biggest crimes in politics of Pakistan. Like I would say it's even worse than like the Benazir murder, because this is a man who was legit standing up for someone who was the weakest person in society. So With the elections on the ride in just 3 months, the TLP, known for its aggressive activism, is instilling fear. And this could be a good, what do you call it, way to gain support for themselves too. Like they're trying to ramp up their activities. It's, a perfect timing. Their impassioned political and grassroots campaigns, particularly in response to Quran burning in Sweden, amplified the sense of urgency and tension in the region. Always seeing in white local attire, Mumtaz and her assistant Saika referred to themselves as sisters, even though they have no ties to Catholicism. Their non-denominational evangelical church, Sat Sangat Daiwa Church, True Fellowship Air Church, became a beacon of
That
hope.
sounds so biblical.
I know, right? Yeah.
Satsang Daivam.
Yeah. But keep in mind, though, it's this like from the same culture, right? A lot of people from India did migrate to Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you find some Telugu or a Tamil, linguistics. The two believers acquired a patch of land which was remote. So they described this church and said they found the church burned and its walls torn after tension soared. Yeah, so this church was burned down. And yeah, TLP is the major force, Tehreek-e-Labbaik, Pakistan. And the sad thing is nobody can stand up to these guys because they're so scared.
They're basically the mob.
Yeah, so there's Rakhal Bibi, past wife of Pastor Ashraf Masih, leader of the Khushkhabri Good News Church, affiliated with the Pentecostal denomination, and Chuck Sivan was at home when the attackers descended upon her residence. She prevented them from entering the gate. Undeterred, they sought access through a window and attempted to ignite the fire. Damn. They even attacked someone's home, too.
Oh, and the Dudabites, they all died.
The what?
Because the population was I believe 15 to 20% Hindus when the partition happened, but now it's only 1%.
Yeah, a lot of non-Muslims were. I mean, there may have been non-Muslims who migrated to Pakistan.
They did. It was 15 to 20% of the population.
Yeah, 15 to 20% of the population, and of 15 to 20% of the minorities, that is, of the non-Muslim population. So
no, it was of the total population.
Of the total population, okay.
And then they were either forced converted or killed off.
There was a lot of forced conversions. There was a lot of killing, brutal massacres.
And I think Jen might know a bit about this as well
on
that history. But there was a lot of, especially the Kashmir genocide and all that. So there were huge amounts of Hindus there.
Well, not the mayor, the governor of Punjab, actually. The governor of Punjab, Salman Taseer. Mufti Hanif Qureshi. Okay, let's see Mufti Hanif Qureshi's story. That is Mufti Hanif Qureshi. So this is the guy who gave the okay, let me just see if this is a share screen. Okay, so this is what's showing me here. So 5 days ago, okay, so he was booked on blasphemy charges in Rawalpindi, the Islamic cleric. Sunni Paki, this is the, geez, what kind of name? It's a derogatory term, but Sunni Paki. But again, it could just be. Yeah, I know, right? Okay, Sunni Paki regime files blasphemy case against.
Yeah, I heard Paki, and I'm like, who the fuck you call him Paki, man?
Jeez. Pakistani regime has filed a blasphemy case against Ahl Sunnat scholar Mufti Hanif under a controversial law that has been passed with the sole intention to target Shias. Hafiz, and there has been a little amendment that there's more. You cannot even insult companions of the Prophet. So even Shia Muslims cannot share their story, their side of the story too. And it's funny too, you said that he's the one who gave the fatwa against Salman Taseer. Oh, damn. So Mufti Hanif Qureshi gave. I'm just confirming this. 1 second, guys. Oh yeah, so he was the one of the Mufti and Qari, two clerics. Yeah, okay, so he was back then he was suspected of motivating the what do you call it? So it's ironic that he gets, booked for blasphemy. The irony. Hafiz Mahmud filed his defamation FIR of the Sahaba companions of Pride and Rawalpindi against Mufti Hanif Qureshi, a prominent religious scholar of Ahl Sunnah Bareilly. Shubinad Mufti Hanif Qureshi often exposes enemies of Ahl al-Bayt in the speeches. Now, weeks ago, Pakistani Senate had passed a controversial criminal laws amendment bill, which makes any criticism of Yazid, Abu Sufyan, and Muawiyah as a criminal offense. This is sad because, hang on, Jimmy. How does this make sense? How can you not insult, or let's just say, so we cannot make any criticism of Yazid, Abu Sufyan, and Muawiyah?
Yes, I mean, even there are even traditions within Sunni Islam that are rather critical of those three.
Right? So this is kind of insane. And it should be noted that the FIR filed against Mufti Hanif Qureshi, the accuser, has claimed that he insulted Sahabi Umar bin Abi Waqas. While the viral video, Mufti Hanif Qureshi can be insulting Yazid and all those involved in the killing of Imam Hussein. Oh man, this is going to be bad for Shia Muslims. This is going to be so bad. This is going to be horrible. I used to be Shia, yeah, but holy crap, this is going to be bad for Shia Muslims.
Once you're a Shia, you're always a Shia. There's no leaving.
Shut up, Nick. Shut up.
Oh, and the Dude Abide asks, and D. Bordeaux asked a question here as well.
What is the kind of issue? Okay, so whom can issue? It has to be an Islamic leader or scholar. Like, it has to be a cleric. It has to be a qualified leader who issues the fatwa. It could be any of the leaders in Pakistan. It could be any of the leaders in Arabia. Ayatollah Khomeini can issue a fatwa. So there's different scholars, as long as you have a good following.
Yeah, and here's the key technicality. They can issue fatwas like whatever. They're still allowed to be on Twitter.
They have to be on Twitter?
So they're allowed to be on Twitter.
Yeah, that's the weird part.
Donald Trump's kicked out.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like,
the fucking Ayatollah of Iran, who's calling for the murder of all these fucking Americans and meddling in American elections.
Keep in mind, the previous Ayatollah was the one who did the fatwa. Yeah. This one, he still called for death of America, death for
because that's what gets me about Twitter. Because holy shit, with Twitter, Donald Trump, the president of America, cannot have a free speech platform on an American platform.
Yeah.
But the goddamn Ayatollah, who's threatening to kill American people, meddling in our elections, and Putin can have Twitter accounts.
Yeah, it's very weird. And hey,
no, I'm not Donald Trump fan.
Remember, Elon Musk owns Twitter right now, and he hasn't fixed that problem.
No, he did. He changed a lot of it.
Yeah.
But I think his plan is to buy StreamYard and then also buy Etsy, so he has sex now.
But even fucking Apostle Prophet got blocked. It was during the Musk regime, though.
Oh.
So Apostle Prophet didn't get any benefit.
D. Bordeaux, yes, Queen. The blasphemy train goes in full circle.
Yes, Queen. Okay. Can Ali Dawah issue a fatwa? Sure, he's got a Twitter account. I think he can, actually. He has a decent.
I mean,
don't give him ideas.
With certain exceptions in certain Sunni traditions within Sunni Islam, there did never really, develop a formal hierarchy. Unlike certain, with the exception of certain Hanafi and Shafi traditions, there did never actually develop a formal hierarchy. So a lot of the authority that exists is very informal.
Even with Shia Muslims, they have a bit of a hierarchy too. Like, you have the Ayatollahs, you have the Marajas.
Yeah, but I argued the opposite. You don't have a formal hierarchy.
Yeah, at least with
Sunni Islam. Yeah.
No, not with Sunni Islam. Shia Islam, yes, but not with Sunni Islam, no. Because with Sunni Islam, yeah, it's very all over the place because we have fatwas from Sheikh al-Islam or what's his name? What's the guy's name again? What's Ibn Taymiyyah. You have fatwas from him, but then you also have fatwas from this random dude in Egypt too. So I think it was Yusuf Qardawi or something like that. You have fatwas from him, but then there's also online fatwas.
Yusuf Qaradawi, yes.
Yes, so you have online fatwas too, which is like, on rulings and stuff. So there's no really any like formal hierarchy, at least when it comes to fatwas, that is. So
I mean, fatwa just means
a commandment,
interpretation.
Yeah,
Statement of like interpretation.
Okay, so Islamic cleric booked on blasphemy charges in Rawalpindi. Police registered a case under Section 298A against the cleric. Complaint of Hafiz, Shahid Mahmood, and Imran. So another cleric. Okay, this is against cleric Mufti Hanif Qureshi on blasphemy charges. At the irony, against cleric complaint and Imran Asghar, both residents of Rawalpindi, as per the FIR, the complainants claimed.
Pindi means in Telugu?
What does it mean?
Dough. So you usually call them people
Rawalpindi. No, Rawalpindi. Yeah, that's the city name though. Has expressed derogatory the complaints against the companions of the Holy Prophet, adding that the act has hurt the sentiments of Muslims. I don't know which Muslim gets hurt by Yazid getting insulted, but I don't know. It is pertinent to mention here that Mufti Hanif issued a fatwa for he did. Okay, so D, this is correct. He did issue the fatwa for the murder of Punjab Governor Salman Taseer for alleged blasphemy, after which he was assassinated by elite force commando Mumtaz Qadri, which is his own security. The majority of those accused of blasphemy in Pakistan are Muslims, but members of religious minorities face especially an acute threat, according to Rights Group. Christians, who form 1.3% of the Pakistan's 250 million, have been particularly at risk, with neighborhoods, cities of Lahore, Gojra, and Jaramwala, and the capital Islamabad burnt down, attacked following the allegations. So even places like Islamabad and Lahore, the houses were attacked. Lahore was the main major city. Yeah. No, not Lahore. No.
I thought you were who the fuck Moose called
No, Nick. No, Nick. We're not going to the Lahore direction. So yeah, so this is the
I'm kind of feeling Schadenfreude right now due to you making fun about the city of Lund in Sweden.
Yeah, you're having your revenge, huh? You're having your sweet fantasy revenge, huh?
Yes.
I'm here to help your culture, Jenny.
No
dick joke, no sex joke will cross my mind.
I'll try to send a meme about Lund City. I did find a very funny meme about Lund City.
Is that in Islamabad?
No, that's in Sweden. Lund City. Did you know that? Lund.
What's your African American population there?
Boy. Okay. No, we're not discussing demographics of Lund City. By the way, Lund in Urdu
means the penis.
Yes. So yeah, that's
It's your average city.
No, Nick, behave.
Hey, it's my last day. What are you gonna do? Fire me?
Yeah. And technically speaking, you're not fired. You're actually giving your notice to not me, to the audience. You're filing your notice. So yeah, it's But back to the question of, can Ali Dawa issue a fatwa? Sure, he's got a Twitter account.
Only his sugar daddy, his guru, Muhammad Bijab.
You think so? I mean, I'm thinking he can. He can issue a fatwa because he has a decent following. Muhammad Hijab can.
Sajid Lippum.
Maybe, yeah. Even that guy, Mufti Menk, can issue a fatwa.
I mean, anyone can issue a fatwa. It's just will people actually take it into consideration?
And of course, what's his name? Muhammad Hijab and Yasser Qadi can issue fatwas.
See, even Allah censored his name in your mouth.
I mean, the entire thing here is that it's pretty much you can issue a fatwa, but will people actually take it into consideration?
Yeah, and
It's just a legal opinion.
And
Is
It's
that
not a-
like just a fatwa bounty?
fatwa is not necessarily a bounty; it's more of a instruction.
I mean, no, it's literally opinion giving, or
yeah,
statement of
of a
interpretation.
scholar. It's a scholar interpreting Islamic law, and he gives a statement. That is. And
I mean, a mufti is pretty much the one that states his opinion in a matter. Ufti fi hada al-amri. I'm giving my statement in this matter.
Yeah, though it's funny that Ayatollah Khomeini's fatwa was very powerful. Very powerful. It's like it got the entire Muslim world.
But the Shia does have a hierarchy that is recognized.
Yeah. So there's like the hierarchy, which we discussed earlier. There is a proper hierarchy compared to in Sunni Islam, it's almost non-existent at this point. The hierarchy. And also Ayatollah at that time was a leader of Iran too. And Iran did have a lot of influence in, not just Iraqi politics even today, but also like politics in the other nations in the Middle East too, as well as Pakistan as well too. It has its influence in Pakistan. At this moment, like, this is one of the stories that, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm also like glad that this mufti got what he deserved because he gave someone the accusation and it's biting him in the ass. At the same time, though, I am concerned for the future because now no one is safe at this point because you cannot even talk about history or even address, like you can not even state the proper hadith without getting an accusation of, like, even if you say like Muhammad slept with a 9-year-old, it's written in the hadith, it's literally there. Yeah, and it'll still come bite you in the ass because you're just stating the truth. So it's a weird double-edged sword that you're kind of stuck in, especially in Pakistan. So I am very worried for not just ex-Muslims, actually for ex-Muslims for sure, ex-Muslims, for minorities, for Shia Muslims, Ahmadi Muslims, but also now it's gonna come bite the ass of the majority at large, the majority Hanafi Sunni population at large, because this is gonna bite them hard in the ass. I am so sorry I'm using that word, but this is gonna bite you in the fucking ass. And it's a sad state of affairs. It's really sad because now you already have military coups, you already have a shitty economy, and this is on top of that. Like, your economy is on the brinks of a collapse. So it's at this point it's almost like Pakistan's like this situation is just going from bad to worse. It's very sad. But like I really hope there's a small glimmer of hope because this is the country of my origin. There is a glimmer of hope that, hey, things could change because, nobody wants Pakistan to fail because of the nuclear weapons and stuff. Yeah.
You see what happens when you leave your country like a traitor.
Shut up.
Give up your Canadian passport, go back.
Yeah, and get killed the next day? Yeah, no thanks. No thanks. But yeah.
Oh, this one.
Nigar Alam was... Shut up. Was lynched and maimed. He was a religious leader. Yeah. Boy, this is a common name there. I know, we're not saying... Yeah, so this is May 7th.
Oh, yes, let's choose the neutral Jazeera.
Oh, yeah. It's the first one that pops up. Come on now. All right, we'll find another one. The Independent. Happy?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna go with the UK based news source. So yeah, so thanks, Deep. Yeah, this was a man accused of blasphemy killed by a mob at a Pakistan political rally. And the police say the blasphemous words during speech led to torture and death of a man. So he was a Muslim scholar, ironically. And he was lynched death by a mob after allegedly making remarks at a political rally in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. He was beaten by an angry mob by hundreds of people in the Sawalda Ridge in the Mardan district. There were disturbing graphic videos, of course. There's going to be different. So he allegedly, I think he made the remark something along the lines of, I think it could have been, some words of his prayer were deemed valid by a number of protesters, leading to a torture. It's literally biting you in the ass. Like, you can't even practice your own religion without committing this blasphemy, this witch hunt type of a blasphemy. So, like, according to the police deputy on duty, the rally locked the man inside a nearby shop to save him from the mob, but people overpowered the police. Literally, this is so bad that the police can't do shit. And the police took the body into custody. There was also a Chinese national who was working on a joint project after he was accused of black. The man was first arrested, then airlifted to safety after a mob protested and demanded he be handed over. So this is a systemic issue at this point. In February, these are so many of these situations that happen. In 2021, I remember Priyanta Deyawadanga was working in a factory as a manager in Pakistan, was beaten because he tore off a poster that was there that had the name Muhammad on it. Because he's like, I need to clean this place up. So he just took the poster down, and oh boy, they killed him over that. And yeah, of course, Asia Bibi is the famous incident. Asia Bibi has been locked in.
It's 5/11, so you almost done.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jinny. Sorry. It's we're about to Yeah, but even then, it's we're trying to find as many news sources as possible, and even the Saudi-funded newspaper is reporting that this is a problem. But anyway, Ginny, we're gonna wrap up quickly because it's gonna be a short episode. You have to go in the morning as well.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us for today. But do you have any closing statements or anything like that?
Yes. Blasphemy issues in Pakistan and elsewhere are not just an issue about blasphemy in itself, but an issue in that blasphemy becomes a weapon that becomes used in personal feuds. It becomes an issue that is used to ignite various conflicts on a local level between groups, which also often ends in misery for everyone involved and in resources being diverted to carry out the judgments and the judicial procedures in order to process these resources that could have been better used elsewhere.
Yeah, and I also agree, dude. But in my opinion, yes, the reason they're becoming more frequent is because the reason these vigilantes carried out these justices is because the Pakistani court system hasn't officially executed somebody on the charges of blasphemy. So they take the law into their own hands.
And it's more of an economic kind of thing because every country that has an economic system similar to what Pakistan's going on right now has an increase of vigilante violence.
Yeah, there's also the economics, but also it's because they see the state as they're failing to do the execution, so they take it to their own hands, and the law protects them. This law has
it's more so the corruption that protects them, not the law.
Oh no, the law does too. There's no reprimanding against any vigilante status. There's no bill that has been introduced that addresses this specific kind of vigilante.
Would you say that that's more of a corruption thing or the law thing?
It's both. It's a bit of both. It's because of the fact that they're shit scared of the religious. They're shit scared.
Because
of course, they'll take some bribes.
So I compare it the same way as all these like the senators and such who get $250 million from Pfizer or Merck for some pharmaceutical or for generic medicine, right?
Yeah.
In India, like let's say some drug company in Johnson Johnson in India, they bribe a local minister there to sell expired medicine as generic medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have to put a law outright saying banning the expired medicine, but no minister is going to stop them, and they're getting.
There could be some form of lobbying from religious leaders to saying that not punishing the the vigilantes or the ones perpetrating
Let's not hide it as lobbying. It's corruption.
Yeah, it's corruption. Again, there could be corruption. There could be religion itself. There's also the issue of economy and also the issue of the law, the legal system. When the legal system protects the perpetrator, that's when it's screwed up. But anyway, and it's worrying to me that these are getting more frequent, and they will get more frequent. I will say this is bad news. This will get more frequent if this problem is not fixed. But that being said, thank you for joining us today at the Gin and Tonic Show. Thank you, Culture Ginny. Please go to bed. Please go to bed. You have work the next morning. You will need your sleep if you're dealing with any, radical progressives in your academia. So yeah, thank you.
You say that like you're not one of those people.
I am one of those people. Shut up. Anyway, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for joining us one last time. For the safety, Nick's last show. Do check out Culture Ginny's channel. Do please. I kid you not. Great content. Amazing videos. I'll try to post as much as possible myself. I'll do either live streams or post something, but I will announce it. I'll keep posting. I'll keep the Gin and Tonic Show going. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Ginny. Have a good night.
Have a good night.